Hey, sweethearts, it's Chantel from Sweet Job Spot, and today's topic is personal branding. So, what is personal branding? All right, so let's just break it down. If you think of any company like McDonald's, Apple, Home Depot, you think of the brand, right? I'm Sweet Job Spot, I have my brand. If you're thinking about that, then think of yourself personally as a brand. So, how exactly does that work? I'm sure you're probably really curious to say, like, how am I as a person a brand like a Home Depot or a McDonald's? Like, I'm just one person, right? But if you think about brand and you think of yourself as one person, just think about your reputation, right? What is your reputation as? Who are you being in your reputation? When people think of you, what is it that they say to themselves, to determine whether they do or don't want to talk to you, to determine whether they do or don't want to work with you? What does your reputation say? When you go back and you talk to ex supervisors or ex colleagues, teachers, other people in your life that you've worked with, what are they saying? Is that consistent with who you are and who you want to represent? So one thing you could do is you could go and you can ask people, just be very frank and honest. Hey, what are some words you would use to describe me? What are some things that you thought about me that you learned weren't true? What are some things that you thought about me that you learned were true? Asking them different questions about you. What do you think my strengths and weaknesses are? How would you have rated my job performance? Do you think I improved or stayed the same at my old position? These are questions that you can ask people to get an idea of who you are and what makes it a brand and why, that's such a controversial word for people. There's a lot of people who think branding, like, you're just one person, you're not really a brand, that's reserved for companies. There's people who think a brand is a logo. Clearly we are not logos, but we are walking representations of our thoughts and our way of being. So when you're considering going through a job change, when you're considering going through something, what are people saying? What are people thinking about you? That's basically what your brand is. Like when I think of McDonald's, I think really great French fries, right? Sometimes I think their Coke is actually really delicious too. Their burgers, they're okay. They're consistent. Usually they taste the same. I've had better burgers, but I know what I'm going to get when I go to McDonald's, and that's exactly why I go to McDonald's. I know the fries are going to taste a certain way. I know the Coke is going to taste a certain way. I know the burger is going to taste a certain way. Same thing if you go to any department store. For the most part, they're all pretty much the same. Any fast food restaurant, they're all pretty much the same. Chick-fil-A, their brand is known for saying thank you to their customers and their kind demeanors. So that's that brand. That's why the Chick-fil-A is going so well. Krispy Kreme, they're known for hot signs. Whenever you see a hot sign, you're going to get a delicious Krispy Kreme. But let's think about people in the business marketplace. When you think of a Bill Gates, or you think of Oprah Winfrey, or you think of Tyra Banks, or you think of some of the guys on Shark Tank, when you think of those people, right? When you think of those people, they all have their individual personalities, their individual likes and dislikes. When you see people that are doing really well in business, like the Susie Ormans, that Susie Orman because of her finances. The same as Joel Osteen for his preaching. And, he's always going to preach about family. She's always going to preach about finances. So when you really start to get into the nitty gritty and you think about what these people's brands are about, they're famous now, But in a lot of cases, they've been building their brand for years. They've been working in that same arena, getting themselves together, becoming better at it. And they've been doing this time after time after time until that's what people associated with. You associate Oprah Winfrey with the queen of talk. We all associate Michael Jackson as the king of pop. We all associate Elvis as the king of rock and roll, because what did they do? They went out and they were in their selves, in the way that they were functioning. They were that, right? And in order to stay that king, Michael Jackson, uh, you know, practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, because that's what you do. Aretha Franklin, who's the queen of soul. So think about how you have seen people represent themselves in ways, and they're individual people. These are not big corporations. They are just a person, regardless if they own a corporation or not. That's different, right? There's Oprah Winfrey and there's Harpo Corporation. We mostly know Oprah Winfrey. We really don't know that much about Harpo Incorporated, right? I'm not even sure if it's called Harpo Incorporated. That's how much I don't really know. I know it's Harpo something, right? But I know Oprah Winfrey. I don't know who's in charge of Harpo besides Oprah. I don't know anything else about that company except her. So she's the one spearheading it. She's the brand. It all kind of falls on her. So when you think about like yourself as a brand, think about yourself as, when I'm walking, talking, am I being confident? And am I being who I want to be? Or is my brand saying something different? And don't take offense if your friends, family, and people and maybe don't know so well say, oh, actually, when I see you, you always look stressed out. Or when I associate you, you always seem like you're in a rush. Or when I'm talking to you, you always seem like your head is in the clouds, like you're not paying attention to me. Use that as an opportunity to grow. Go back to yourself and think, is this who I really want to be? Is it who I want to be? Is this how I want to exist in the world? Is this what I want people to think of me? Because remember, we get one story with two dates on it. One is the beginning, the day we're born, and one is the end, the day we die. Whatever is in that middle, that's what we're creating, and that's what people are going to remember us by. So if you want to be remembered in a certain way, and this goes so much more beyond careers, but let's just stick with the careers. You want to be remembered at work. You want people to value your work. You want to go from company to company to company and build up a really positive, strong reputation, versus going from company to company to company and have this reputation of, well, we didn't really like her, but maybe you want to work with her. Or we didn't really like him, but maybe he'll do better if he works with you. If that's the kind of reputation that you want, you're going to struggle a lot. You're going to struggle because people are going to come back and they're going to say, well, this person didn't work out so well, and good luck. And eventually you'll run out of places to work. So get that feedback, get the honest feedback, and don't take it personally. Just take it in and listen to it. Now, what I do with a lot of my clients is, we take that feedback, we kind of go over it, and we look at interactions, and when do you think you were acting like this, and what do you think you could say differently? The whole thing is, how can you get to the point that you're being seen by people the way you really want to be seen by people? Like, I'm not always seen by people the way I want to be seen. Sometimes I'm tired and people assume that I'm angry. Or sometimes I'm thinking and people assume that I'm angry. Because when I'm thinking, my face does this. This for some people looks angry. For me, it's just my face, but for them, it looks angry. So sometimes I have to be conscious of, let me, think about that and recognize, whoa, wait, are you doing the serious face? Because the serious face makes people think you're angry. So be careful when people are talking to you that you don't make the serious face. Do that, when you're reading your book at home, or make sure you preface it. Hey, I know I'm making my serious face right now. This is my thinking face, right? Just break the ice, let people know, hey, this isn't who I exactly am. I'm just thinking. And when I think, my face does this. And so sorry, like, I'm not mad at you, right? So just think of those things. Think of your behavior. Talk to people. Ask them why they think that about your behavior. And ask them to be honest, and just don't take it any kind of way. Just take it in and listen to it. And when you're thinking of defending yourself, don't just take it in and say thank you for your time and thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. And then just go home and do some work on it. Like I said, with my clients, I do work on it. If you ever need to work on it, you know, feel free to contact me. If you feel like your brand reputation is not working the way you want it to, my contact information is in the bottom. I offer coaching and I help people with that, because it's not just about being liked and being Mr. and Miss Popular. This is about your long-term career, and it's very important that your reputation is good, because if you have a bad reputation and let's say you get laid off and you lose your job and you were the manager and all those people who used to work for you are now managers at other companies, what's going to happen then? Are they going to hire you? Are they going to say, yeah, he was so nice, I loved working for him? Or are they going to say, that guy was a jerk, I didn't like working for him, and I'm definitely putting him in the no pile? No, you want to be in the yes pile. You want to be in the yes pile as often as possible, because that's your career, that's your livelihood. So think about that when you're thinking about your brand. Think of um, how you can better support your brand, how you can better support yourself through better branding, better personal branding. And like I said, it's not just your clothes and your outside appearance. It's not your billboard, but it's really your walking reputation of, who you are, who you're being, and who's in existence. So guys, thank you so much, sweethearts, for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.